So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and here we go. We are going to be getting into our next match, which will be on the upper bracket round number 3, EnDerr versus Artanisph. So, EnDerr, of course, we've already known about this guy for quite a while already. We've seen his warpath through the upper bracket. In the meantime, though, Artanisph finally able to get his play on. And something note about Artanisph as well, he has been one of my favorite Protoss players in the scene. He has always been really competitive in the Golden Diamond bracket, and he has always had that history of really being in the up and up. One of the better players in the Brood War scene for Protoss, and especially here in StarCraft, they're really trying to reclaim that former glory as he's recently made it back to Master. So big kudos to him. Really goes to show that he has really improved so much again coming back to the game. And introducing our maps right now, we are going to have these 3 maps for our pool. Deathaura LE, Everdream, as well as Submarine. It is high time right now to get into our first game, which will be Deathaura. But while we are setting that lobby up, we'll just be thanking our sponsors with real quick. ROG Internet Cafe, thank you for all the headsets and all the support from the Dual Meet, even here in the quarantine tournament, Block 101 Hobbies as well, amazing cards and all the like. Community sponsors include Pouchin, EnDerr, Bayagaster, Stale Cookie, as well as Raigeki. This is brought to you by DLS Missile as well as Daks PH. And now it is going to be time to get into the action. Zerg versus Protoss, PvZ. Always really fun to see. And what is going to be the plan here for Artanisph? I'm trying to figure out what kind of build he's going to be going on. He does play very standard in so many ways. I haven't really seen him play the cheese per se. And he can get caught unaware actually by a cheese strat out of nowhere. But in the meantime, for EnDerr, he can do anything he wants and more. He can just mix it up, he can figure things out, and he can just have an enjoyable time, and to say the least. So hopefully Artanisph is going to be a-okay, and we are going to be good to go. We were able to catch out that lower bracket round match between Saipem as well as Phoenix. And again, whoever loses this is going to be facing off against Phoenix. Whoever wins this is going to be facing off against Nux in the upper bracket final. So here we go, guys. We're going to be getting into the action, going to be getting into the match. It is high time right now to see who's going to be moving on to the next part of the bracket. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be looking to see how this is all going to pan out. As welcome back. This is the SCPH Quarantine Tournament. And this is Protoss versus Zerg yet again. EnDerr versus Artanisph. First map, Deathaura LE. And I honestly can't wait to see what kind of speed boost antics we're going to be getting into this map. It's high time now to play the aggression, and it's high time now to get into the match. Let's move on in to the battlegrounds. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and here we are, upper bracket round 3. The next one is going to be a semifinal, or as you would say, it is going to be the upper bracket final, as we like to call it. But introducing first, here on the bottom right, the man who needs no introduction, the best of the PH scene, is a blue Zerg, EnDerr. And his opponents, here on the yellow Protoss, on the up, one of the veterans, one of the longtime players, really has been one of the greats in the local scene itself. It is gonna be our Protoss man, Artanisph. Now, listening to a name like Artanisph, you expect him to play Zealots, and more Zealots for the glory of Ire. But I've seen Artanisph whip out any kind of strat if need be. And this is something I've also noticed from Artanisph. He doesn't really react too well against the cheese per se. He loves playing a standard proxy game, and that is where a standard macro game rather. And that is where he really shines in late game-ish, mid-game-ish kind of ordeals. But on the other side though, it is EnDerr. With the proxy hatchery on the low ground, he knows his opponent really well. He knows that Artanisph might get caught unaware by this. And he's just banking on the probe to not get the scout on from the low ground. But here comes the cybernetic score. Artanisph always playing it very safe. Wants to set up that wall as quick as can be. Bulldo is coming on up. Proxy hatchery gonna be there down below. And something to note though, Artanisph might be anticipating some aggression because he sees that EnDerr doesn't have that second base yet, but Artanisph at the same time, the fact of the matter is he's kind of playing into the mind games of EnDerr, because for him, he was able to slow down EnDerr's natural. If he did realize though that the timing wasn't as fast as he would expect, it might be anticipating a pull first. Did he actually get the scouting though onto the high ground? He saw the pool up there, so he might notice it's a little later than usual, everything that is going on. In any case though, it feels like it still is gonna be falling into the hands of EnDerr so far. This hatchery has not been scouted. It feels like everything is still a-okay here from Artanisph side after he was like, I'm very successful. I was able to slow down that natural so I can actually take the lead here against EnDerr. He's looking to anticipate though an approach from Zergling, so that is going to be the adept there. Besides all of that, it's going to be a very, very scary creep forward as the Queen is going to be coming on now. Tumor is going to be into play. And we'll see right now how this is all going to be panning on out into this one. In any case though, EnDerr setting up this creep tumor. This is gonna be the Zerglings right now, looking to go for the push forward. Stalker in behind. No. It is Artanisph noticing that creep is very, very close to his own confines. Here comes the Spinecrawler right now, looking for the pressure. Good movement from Artanisph PH that he needs those shield batteries as soon as possible. This adept will go down. The Zergling's able to infiltrate on through. We'll be able to get this round onto the Stalker right there, right then. And this is gonna be EnDerr right now, hammering on away against this gateway. Probes though, trying to go for the harassment as well. Looking to just spend up those links. And in the meantime, here comes the Spinecrawler already. But what is the plan here for Artanisph? He needs to be able to hold this. He has this shield battery to make sure everything is going to be fine and dandy in the front line. But the subterranean tentacle just really poking away at this gateway. It's like a poke of doom if you ever watch wrestling. And it is just going to be absolute pain going into that gateway. Pressure though being applied onto the Stalkers themselves. Unfortunately here for Artanisph PH, he's still 15 energy away from that battery overcharge, I believe. So he will need to wait it out and try to survive without this gateway. Anyway, Chrono Boost onto the gateway that's dying. One good focus fire here from EnDerr. Will shut that down immediately. Highly unfortunate there for Artanisph as the floodgates do open. This is EnDerr right now, knowing exactly what to do against his opponent. Good movement though from Artanisph to stay in between the shield batteries, but energy will dissipate soon. Here comes the Probe Wolf. It's still gonna be too late to the party. And now Artanisph gonna be losing everything on the low ground. GG is called, and EnDerr with the cheese to get that victory. What a proxy there from EnDerr. So well played there to Mr. EnDerr. It's exactly what he needed to do in that regard, and well played indeed for him. Really goes to show though that for EnDerr, if he knows exactly who he's facing up against, he does know how to change his antics and change his strategy, and especially against someone like Artanisph, that is one of the best things that you can do. Something to note though again though, on Deathaura, able to transition all the way to the other side a lot quicker, and that proxy hatchery even more potent in that game. Now we are going to be moving on to game number 2. So our second map has been confirmed, ladies and gentlemen, and we are going to be looking to play into Everdream next. Now, will EnDerr go for the cheese again? I don't think so. I think he might be respecting Artanisph PH and his macro capabilities, so say he felt like he wanted to go for that early aggression. But now Artanisph has to be wary, has to be looking around, making sure that everything is fine and dandy. And just what a rush there from EnDerr. Proxy into Spines, into Lings, into the Queen, and everything just going his way. For now though, we are going to be looking to get into the action for some reason, though we're kind of struggling to get into some of these maps which are already loaded earlier on. So that's, that's just how it is sometimes in SC. But hopefully we can just get into the action straight away. But for Everdream, can feel like though that Artanisph might have a better position to defend this. It is going to allow him to really go for that natural choke on the natural itself. And in a setup like this, it's going to be really, really interesting to see how EnDerr is going to be reacting in time. Still though, we are in the game, we are ready to go. Quick little race check for both of our players, and it is high time to get into the action. Artanisph PH might be in for a rude awakening, facing off against, well, one of the best players, if not the best player in the PH scene right here. And EnDerr, really going to be a tough test for him. In the meantime, EnDerr looking for a little bit of retribution, wanted to make it to the semifinals or the upper bracket finals because of that upcoming matchup against Nux again to try and reclaim that crown. But all I gotta say though, it's a very, very friendly rivalry between Nux and EnDerr. They are so good friends with one another, always practicing, always enjoying their time together. But we are still not done with this series as we move into the second game. EnDerr with one map ahead. So here we go, guys. We are going to be getting back into the action. We are going to be getting into Everdream LE. Introducing first, on the top right, it is going to be our Zerg player one map ahead. It is EnDerr. And his opponents, here on the bottom left instead, it is going to be our blue Protoss looking to work things out and looking to work his way to victory. It is gonna be all about trying to stabilize. It's gonna be all about trying to figure things out. It's our blue Protoss, Artanisph. So here we go again, ladies and gentlemen. Artanisph already going for that natural wall as quick as can be. I think he's gonna be more wary though of that scouting. It's gonna be very, very important. And in the meantime, EnDerr could be looking at the drone on up and do what he can in the long run. So interesting enough though, it's gonna be that long, far away expansion. So he does still want to play the aggression. He wants to make sure that he can creep on forward to his opponent as quick as can be. And also is anticipating Artanisph is like, oh, he's playing a little bit of mind games there. So there go the Distractor, there we go with the pool. And as soon as Artanisph sees this, he's like, okay, is there a cheese somewhere? But they'll have to be wary. He's gonna be going though to the south, the east side, and he will be noticing that hatchery there. It's a very interesting location to start things off. I'm not gonna be pretending that I know exactly what EnDerr is doing, but all I gotta say is this is gonna be a good staging ground for him to put in the pressure. It's gonna be a lot closer than the natural in terms of reinforcements, and he can really start that creep off from there and move on to the lines of the Protoss itself. But on the other side though, at least Artanisph gets a scout onto a proper base, so he can get a very, very secure natural wall. Cybernetic score is going on up. This is just maybe basically the same old strategy for Artanisph, but we didn't really see any strategy a while ago because he just got caught out in the open. Even though the shield batteries were a pretty good idea, battery overcharge not being online, and there was just no firepower in behind. Could have gotten something like maybe the Immortal to help out in dealing with the crawlers, as well as the Queen. Besides that though, an Observer gonna be helpful to get rid of the tumors out of nowhere. But in any case, it's still EnDerr's show, and he is gonna be transitioning his drones all the way to the east side already. Still a little bit of scouting here for EnDerr, trying to get on through to the main from the longest path of least resistance. These are the gateways right now being built to gate 1 core as the second base is up. Artanisph looking primed and ready. EnDerr right now gonna be getting his third onto the natural. And really is just trying to bait something out from Artanisph. Is he trying to say to his opponent that you have to be ready for me? You have to make sure that you will have an army to defend against whatever I bring to the table. And for Artanisph right now, it is going to be that Twilight Council. We'll be surprised to see that 2-base Blink Stalker yet again. That has been very, very popular nowadays. And then it just allows you to do all you can with it. But also, you can go for the Glaive Adepts. Always so fun to see, especially against that Zerg. Really making you do a little bit of choice action there. But it's a very gateway heavy unit composition here from Artanisph. Really showing that he loves the Might of the Kala. And he is going to be playing to his namesake yet again. And in any case, we still continue on. It is going to be the Overlord right now in the middle of everything. EnDerr in the meantime getting more and more base queens, and he just wants to creep on forward rather than in behind. So he's only committing 1 queen for creep here from the main to, well, that initial pathway. Artanisph now going to get caught out in the open and will get taken down. For EnDerr instead, he is still making this landed strip. He is looking to really force out a big, big pathway for him to run on through onto the east side. For Artanisph right now, he does have 2 of these gas onto the main, gonna be getting a 3rd right here right now. What's the plan though for Artanisph? Gateways again built, really focusing heavy onto the Twilight Council as well as these gates, and all I gotta say is he does get this Robo right now, and it is gonna be DT time for our blue Protoss. So pretty expected there, Artanisph going for the Twilights. Not getting any upgrades, it has to be unlocked onto something. Now usually when you're going for Charge Lot Archon, of course you need that charge. If you're not getting anything, that Dark Shrine is a pretty hefty investment. And getting that 3rd Assimilator, really keeping up on the economy. You'll be getting that 4th as well, but of course when you play that DT, you need both minerals and gas. It's a pretty interesting setup here for Artanisph so far, and in the meantime, does he get that Lair Tech already? Yes he does, so he will be able to play Overseers later on. Wouldn't be surprised to see him play the Spore Crawler as well if he needs to. But he really just needs to have that Lair Tech up and running. If he does get caught unaware still on Hatch Tech, it is just going to be easy tidings there for our Protoss to do anything he wants. And EnDerr right now, already going for his own Spore Crawler. He saw that it was a Twilight Council coming his way, and since there's no aggression whatsoever, he's anticipating, well, something like the DTs to come in instead. Here we go right now with the Warp Cycle, Artanisph doing it in the face of adversity, and it's going to be slice and dice action from the Assassins. Okay, load it on in. Already anticipation here from EnDerr. Onto the main base he goes, Overlord in position to turn potentially into an Overseer. Already, that is going to be Spore Crawler set on up. Damage not being done. This Warp Prism might be able to just die. Oh my god, what a pick off there from EnDerr. We can really see that range nerf hurting that 1 queen in the long run. Still the Roach right now gonna get caught out in the open. It's time for the Overseer to get in position. And Artanisph has to get the hell out of here. He needs to find a way to get on through. Strategic Recall will say, I'll be saving these now. Thank you very much. And he can use these DTs later on to allow him to just for defense, or he can also turn them into Archons if need be. But in this day and age, it feels like the DTs have been a pretty good component of standard Protoss play. And it's going to be high time right now for the Nexus to get cancelled. It's a good unit to really slice and dice on these lighter units, including the Zerglings, including things like Marines. And they are good, a very good complementary unit that forces your opponent to bring in detection no matter what. In the end though, Artanisph will be going for that charge, will be also getting those Immortals up and running after his Dark Templar push. Didn't really get as much value as he would expect. Still in the meantime, EnDerr trying to pull ahead. He's going to be getting that 4th base already versus the 3 that Artanis is trying to go for. In essence, this is going to be looking to be high tidings. Archons right now being warped on in from the DT. Still a lone DT there. Looking to still play into, well, whatever the Nerazim have in store for them. So also going online. Allow him to get some upgrades here and there. But it's already EnDerr trying to pull away with the +1 halfway done. In any case, none of the adepts into play. Oh, here comes EnDerr though with the drop. Bringing those Zerglings in from the side, and Artanisph just not minding this. 4 probes going down already, 5 have gone down, 8, 9, 10, this is just clean up there. Artanis, a very late reaction. And that has to hurt our Protoss. He was the one who didn't get the proper drop already, and he will get caught unaware there. That has to hurt overall. What a vengeful sax play there from EnDerr to really bring in those Overlords in the first place. And he got the distraction at the same time because EnDerr going for the hamper onto the 3rd. In the meantime, that is going to be the DT trying to do all he can. Overall though, EnDerr right now is feeling it. He is out for blood, and he is just outlasting his opponent twofold on the worker count, and almost 3 or 4 times actually on the armor count. Big army here for EnDerr, and this might be the push that he wants to go for. 3 base onto the Roach and the Ravager while he's getting that fort, but since he knows that he has such a good spot right now, he's looking to end things here. The Ravager is going to be looking to stay in behind. Here comes the Roach right now in position. DTs are going to be there alongside the Zealots to go for the charge, and we'll see if the cleave damage is going to be enough. These are going to be the side blades doing all they can, but it's still overwhelming odds here, courtesy of the Roaches and the Ravagers. Also something to note, the Overseer getting that vision, and we have the Archon right now trying to get on back. Zealots again. A little too hasty into their attack. Shield battery, doing all it can with the battery overcharge, but it's not going to be enough. This blue ball of energy has to retreat, and right now cutting off any kind of reinforcements from that 3rd base. And this must be game. As Artanisph is stuck behind the wall with the Immortal, he can't do anything about this 3rd base going down. There is barely any economy there on the 1st and the 2nd anymore. And 170-13 army, you can really see who is the advantage here. It's a pittance versus a swarm. EnDerr right now, just 1 egg cycle away from complete victory. And here comes the battle right now, looking to land on down. Will we get that CBC matchup in the semifinal itself? We will find out very soon, because this is going to be EnDerr right now, trying to go for the bus with the Biles. Landing on down, destroying the Cybernetics core, and deciding to push all throughout, not even bothering to go for the A-move as of yet. GG, well played. It's EnDerr who just gives Artanisph a very warm welcome into the Masters Plus brackets. EnDerr. Very cheeky there. Really expected the aggression, and he did play that macro game through a pretty strong degree. Able to defend against the DTs. No adepts though, interesting enough from Artanis. I'm really anticipating something like that. He went for DTs instead, and kind of put him in the hole, and the big one there was that Zergling drop. Very, very potent, very, very effective. Artanisph just not responding to the drop, and you can really see if you let your probes just die like that, that's pretty much it. So EnDerr with that victory, basically taking those 2 wins by storm. And yep, that's the 3 base push there. Knowing that that was his advantage with the Roach and the Ravager finishing things off there. That Aura in the meantime with that old school proxy hatch into the spines, really creeping on forward. No submarine needed, and we are going to have a date of destiny. It is going to be EnDerr versus Nux in the semifinals, in the upper back finals. So we will be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned, stick around. This is the SCPH Quarantine Tournament number 4, Masters Plus Brackets.